An event, seen from one point of view, gives one impression. Seen from another point of view, it gives quite a different impression. But it's only when you get the whole picture you can fully understand what's going on.
Stuff like this. Just put it here. Plastic and all. Don't even matter. Plastic, cardboard boxes, pallets, everything's grounded into this. Right here.
They send this stuff off to be eaten by the hogs, and then the hogs are killed, and then we eat them. I felt like I had to tell the world.
Y'all believe me now.
Go up the line to that big shit called the grinder. It grinds it out and turns it into that shit. And then the hog eats it. This is what it looked like when it's done.
I took the videos because I was like, I've never seen nothing like this. This can't be like legal.
I told you guys.
Shout out to all my followers. I love you guys. But let's have a little class. As you see the AAFCO, this is the official publication for things that are allowed in animal feed in America. So let's look down here. And what does it say? Plastics. Plastics, plastics, plastics. I told you. Okay, let's look a little more. What does it say? Other metal compounds. Restaurant food waste, contaminated, adulterated food. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's horrible.
I kept hearing, that's a recycling plant. That's where they take the trash at. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm showing you step by step, like in each video, I'm telling you what you're looking at. So like, what?
LeBron James was given $1 billion by Nike, the establishment, the anti-human, neoliberal, Marxist, globalist establishment, which is also Church of LGBTQ. He was given this $1 billion to keep his mouth shut about the single greatest humanitarian crisis of our generation. And that is the 2 million people being placed in the concentration camps in China for no other crime than being Muslim. Now, he won't speak on that. Why? Number one, it's an economic injustice that he's done to take that payoff to shut his mouth, because really he should have asked Nike for $40 billion.
Of course.
He should have got at least $500 million a year, if not $1 billion a year, because Nike makes $40 billion of revenue a year, and he represents at least 1/40 of their commercial value and influence.
I agree.
100%.
But he took the billion because when you're a radical materialist and you come from Akron, Ohio, like I come from Minneapolis, or you come from one of these other black communities, you measure your success based on what other black people have. And because other black people don't have $1 billion, he feels that the $1 billion he got is an accomplishment that he can hold over y'all and say, look at me.
Right.
I'm successful. But it came with a quid pro quo. And the quid pro quo is you are the new head house Negro. Ooh. You and Obama, sine qua non black bourgeoisie sellouts, the black bourgeoisie. They are the go-between to the black community. They're the ones that are going to negotiate the terms of our social contract with the establishment from now until whenever.
So you call Stephen A. Smith a sellout too?
He's another one. He's just the comment. You got LeBron as an athlete. You got Stephen A. as a commentary voice. You got Barack Obama as a political figure. You got Oprah Winfrey as the women's right. I mean, pick one. It's hard to find a black public figure who's a celebrity who hasn't sold us out.
2008, something unbelievable happened for us in the FBI. We were getting lots of rumors about this high-level asset that worked for several intelligence agencies at the same time. He worked for the Saudi intelligence service. He worked for the CIA, and he was being developed as a political asset in Chicago, Illinois. He was not even a United States citizen, but it was said that he was a student visa and that he was a national from another country. In 2008, everyone in the intelligence structure found out who he was. It was this individual whose name I don't like to say, who became president in 2008 of the United States.
That I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
One of his code names was Renegade. His real name was Barry Sortoro, but he adopted a different name for his political career. When they ran him for president, the cabal, basically, this was the culmination of so many of their plans for so many years. His mission was to destroy the United States from within, one institution at a time. One of the things he did, of course, was he defunded our military. He brought down the resources that they got. But then he ordered our military in many, many instances and in various theaters to attack our allies and to defend and supply and help our enemies. That's exactly how he created ISIS. He would say publicly that the military were going to bomb our enemies, but then he would have the military actually bomb enemies of ISIS, our allies. He gave ISIS funding and equipment by basically ordering our military to take equipment into a certain theater and then abandon it. And the commanders would say, that's ridiculous. We'd just be handing that stuff over to ISIS. And the president's office would say, don't question orders, just follow your orders. And that
pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch.
What does that say? CCP is opening up a police department within the U.S. in New York. Let me say this for the cheap seats. Our Constitution doesn't allot for a country, let alone a piece of shit communist country, to station a garrison within our borders. The fact that this administration's okay with this, on top of everything else, shows you exactly everything you need to know about it.
South Korea reports seizing thousands of smuggled drug capsules containing an unusual added ingredient, the powdered flesh from dead babies. Some people believe they can cure disease. The Korea Customs Service says they were made in northeastern China from babies whose bodies were chopped into small pieces and dried on stoves before being turned into powder. But they wouldn't say where they believe the babies came from or exactly who made the capsules, citing possible diplomatic friction with Beijing. The contents, though, were identified by scientific testing.
When we analysed it, the powdered material sequence is better than a 99.7% match with a human DNA sequence.
No one's been reported ill from ingesting them, but scientist Shin Woo-gi warns they have the potential to be dangerous.
We also see superbacteria and other germs and viruses harmful to a person if consumed.
Some of the capsules were carried in luggage, others were sent by international mail. The smugglers told customs officials they believed the capsules were ordinary stamina boosters and didn't know the manufacturing process. One official said no one's been punished, but a customs clearance director at Incheon Airport warned consumers should be careful about health food supplements where the ingredients aren't clearly marked. Karen Sloan, The Associated Press.
You have any more conspiracy theories? I need some because all mine have now become facts.
Oh, I got you. Because there's a reason this man is questioning this man. There's a reason these fuckers let him do it. This is the Stock Act. The act that Rand Paul is really known for. He spent 10 years advocating, saying that Congress shouldn't be able to invest in stocks or trade, and that it's illegal. He did it. Fast forward to now. This is a report to the Ethics Committee that violated the Stock Act. Guess who's on it? Senator Rand Paul, for failing to report his wife's investment in the same stock that he's questioning Fauci for. Gain-of-function research to this company right here. So they're having Fauci be questioned by him on the stand because he can't ask certain questions, or he'll be thrown under the bus too. Strategic. And also wonder why I could find that information, but Project Veritas didn't. They didn't put it out there. Because they twist the narrative's narrative.
We just got a good super chat from Just Political. Makes a good point. Nothing will stop a midterm election faster than emergency wartime powers. If Russia were a month out, what if the October surprise is that Putin drops a nuke and they suspend elections?
What do you mean Putin in
That's
quotes?
Right.
Let's put that in quotes because we don't know. Yeah, what happens if a
nuke
nuke
is
drops?
dropped,
Or
and
a
then they
firebomb
say,
or something crazy, like any kind of conventional
and they
kinetic.
suspend elections saying we can't, so it's an emergency and the country's got to mobilize.
I'm 3 weeks into a job. Full gut. 3 days in a row, not one motherfucker showed up for work. I don't care if I pay them 15. I don't give a fuck if I give them 25 or 40. People do not want to work. I don't bitch. I don't complain. I got a fully stocked trailer sitting over there with every tool that you can possibly imagine. I buy tools for them. They either have no driver's license, 20 minutes too far to drive. I've even heard the excuse, well, I've got to go home and plan a baby shower, from a grown-ass man. I've worked all over the United States. I've done every kind of construction, remodeling, commercial, residential there is. And this is the worst I've ever fucking seen it. 15 years of busted my ass. It's fixing to go down the fucking drain. It's a sad fucking country we live in.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You know, the LGBTQ community, they say that love is love, right? Why don't you support us? Well, we say that water is water. Why don't you go drink from the toilet? Because at the end of the day, not all water is good to drink. Just like not all love is appropriate. I mean, I can't love my mum, my daughter, or my sister in that way, right? And what about the love of pedophiles? Will you accept that as love is love? Bro, mark my words, in a few years, there's going to be a movement for pedophiles and incest. Because to them, ultimately what? Love is love, right?
At the end of the day, this land was Native American. It was built by black skin and black sweat. And the first commodity traded ever in this country was on Wall Street. What do you think it was?
Slaves.
People. Okay, and that's because we had to stand against the what? What do we have to stand against?
Wall Street, baby.
The wall. Why do you think they call it Wall Street?
I didn't even think.
I know the white folks that ain't racist is trash.
You see, that's where you got it wrong. Us non-racist white folks, we sit back and laugh at both sides. People arguing about the race and color of people's skins. Both sides are racist. See, we ain't got nothing to prove. We know that the white people that are sitting there apologizing for who they are and ashamed of the color of their skin, they'll go against you too. It's just when the time is right and it benefits them. Please believe that. See, we have zero to prove to anybody. We ain't gonna get on here saying we're sorry for our race and that we have black friends and mixed children, even though we do. But we just sit back and laugh and think it's just funny. We'd never let anything like that stress us out because our people that know us, they know us. And that's who we care about, not people on the internet, not other people just trying to race pander to others. So the non-racist white folks out there, we just cool. We sit back and laugh at all of y'all. We ain't never going to apologize for who we are and God created us to be. And when somebody's racist over there, we just mind our business and let them be because we know it's both sides.